Yo guys, what's up? I'm doing this commentary, tour, guide, whatever. Basically, we're just gonna watch our recent tour I also uploaded. Yeah, but this time I'm gonna talk like over it and say like why we do stuff and what thought goes in and stuff. I think this is gonna be interesting for some people, because if you just watch it, then you're not really getting this like information, like why are we doing stuff, like how is stuff working exactly. So yeah, I'm trying to explain a lot in this video, especially like engi PoV, like what templates do you use where and why. Yeah, I hope I don't like miss things. I mean, I'll also talk a little bit about our strats as well. But I mean, I'm gonna focus on myself, because if I'm gonna talk about like everything that goes on, it's just too much for this one video. I wanna keep it like kinda short, but I already know that I'm gonna pause here and there, so it's gonna be a long video, longer than the tour. Yeah, like small disclaimer, like this is obviously like some of the stuff you would play different if you play with pucks, and you just like can't replicate if you don't play with a 5 player like organized party like in voice and shit. But just for you to get an overall idea, I think this video is gonna be super helpful. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So let's dive right in. I got my epic pen ready. Amazing. Yeah, so we are starting our tour always in CMP1, and we start our tour when we cross this line pretty much. So everything that goes on before is like kinda like setting up the tour basically, which means our thief is already in end boss area. And we also had the player place a portal down next to Victoria. He took the waypoint and then ran to us, so the portal is ticking right now. Yeah, which is basically our like little cheesy precast for the tour, so to say, because yeah, the timer starts when we cross this line. Yeah, but let's pretty much dive into it and start. For the first boss, this is like our like basic setup pretty much. We want to play that everywhere where it's possible, like just preheat to 75, 80, something like that, and then overheat on boss. Hopefully, like making our overheat tick hit the best case scenario, obviously. On this first boss, little spoiler, it won't hit. But yeah. So the player arrived here who placed the portal to Victoria, which means we're gonna start our precast. I'm gonna stealth the party so we don't get shot. Little cheesy rocketeer precast, and then you wanna go like into Ole Forge as fast as possible. As you can see, overhead tick misses, but it's okay. Right here, I'm gonna use a lot of terminology that I also like described in the heat like video I did. So right here, I'm gonna catch my heat because it's going down, but I'm gonna catch it with Bell. For this boss, we want to see it, so we need to place down big old bomb. Precasting the mines. What you could do here is swap out after you place the big old bomb. You can swap in the mines again, so you can like actively trigger them. The tool bait skill, which is just like big damage. I did do that in this case, but yeah. You want to rifle forward to like break her with combined with big old bomb. She breaks, but sadly she still stealths. You can still hit her though, so this is why we keep attacking. I skill save rifle 5 here for mobility. Right, I'll need in a minute. We unlock the waypoint here in the barn. So what we do is after we get out of combat, we're just gonna bail to catch our heat, use a feather, and then take the waypoint. Thief portal will be already there. So catching heat, taking feather, taking portal, doing the rifle 5, we skill saved for this optimally. And then it's just like, yeah, basic stuff on end boss again. And this is CMP1. CMP2, we kind of want to be fast at the start, and we also kind of want to be fast at relogging. Like having quick loading times for dungeon tour is pretty important because we don't cut that stuff out. It's all inside the tour, like loading screens matter. If you, as you can see, if you place your mouse, if you're playing top right minimap and you place your mouse like on this little like edge of the chimney, you're gonna be like on the waypoint with the mouse. Little one thing here, thing there. So we want to preheat to 75 here as well. We want to be as quick as possible up there. Pick a path. Chestic for some quickness. I should have overheated here like a little bit faster on her. You can also knock her with shield 4, so she gets knocked similarly to COE Destroyer. So you can knock him without like, even though he has like a break bar, she has a break bar. I like to right here. I like to place the Medkit 3 cleanse field if in case anybody of my team gets immobilized by the turrets. So I kind of fat finger the 3 here, whatever. Right here, we have a portal ticking from one of our teammates. As you can see, he placed it at the first waypoint when we like just started the path. So to progress the path, you don't need to kill Marius actually, like the champion here. You only need to kill the 2 turrets and the 3 elite riflemen up here. I think it's 3 elite riflemen, could be wrong. Yeah, so this is what we do. We just kill the 2 turrets, kill the 3 guys, and then take the portal. In packs, you won't have this portal like most of the time, so yeah, most likely we'll just kill the champion and then take the waypoint. The reason we do this is obviously only after Thief gives the NPC here the like med package or something, is it? All those guys in the courtyard spawn, which means right now we can just like walk here casually. We don't have to worry about anything, which is pretty neat. Bridget, we'll have to CC her, and we need out of combat after Bridget like as fast as possible, which is the reason we don't overheat here. Funny enough, I overheat in this instance here, in this tour, which is pretty bad, but I guess mistakes happen. Usually I just drain my I heat here. I didn't do it this time, and this is why I overheated pretty much. Oh yeah, just chesting for quickness. Careful that you don't fuck up your thief porting to the waypoint with in combat, but I was early, so this was fine. So we want to place down big old bomb next to Bridget. We could swap in, after this, we could swap in the mines, place it down and keep them in. Just as a little bonus thing here. And then we want to rifle for Bridget, and the big old bomb should finish, but this time something went wrong. I think I did a little bit, I went a little bit too early with the big old bomb, which is why she didn't break. And as you can see, I sadly overheat here, which I shouldn't be doing, as I said, because right now I'm in combat. Nobody can port to waypoint. Everything is delayed. So Thief prepared a portal here. So we port the first waypoint, instantly take the Thief portal, and then that's into gyro, so we don't have to blast. Right here we can swap in Elixir S, give some more extra stealth, which is pretty important. Can give super speed here, and now we're off to end boss. The reason why Elixir S is pretty nice there is it extends stealth, because if you don't extend it, the gyro will kinda run out in this area here. But we want to make sure we don't get in combat here at all. So NPC Rosina, as you can see, is with us and not like stuck on some mobs there on the way, because we want to kill her at the end boss here. I think Andre like made a video about it, but I'm just gonna go over this once more here. And we're gonna fail it here, by the way. But the basic idea is, if you kill the boss, like the boss places down these fields that deal massive damage and give you also conditions. Basically what you want to do is you want to kill the NPC after you killed the boss, like as soon as possible, because if you do that, then and obviously killing the boss, talking to the cage, and if the NPCs dies then you save yourself, like you interrupt a long roleplay between two NPCs talking, which is obviously like a big time save for the tour. Yeah, so we're watching the HP from NPC here, but she's dying too fast. We should have cleansed her here. We didn't do that because we were just too slow to adapt to the moment, honestly. We're also pulling Martha right here to help finishing off NPC. Because most of the times, boss will die and NPC is like at 20% health or something. And then we just hide behind NPC and then let Martha shoot NPC. Not killing her. Yeah, but as you can see here, she dies just way too fast, is dead already. Which means when we kill boss and then talk to the cage, like she gets revived. So optimally, if this would have been like perfect case scenario, she would die right now, and not have been dead already. As you can see now, this long roleplay is gonna happen between her and the lieutenant or something. Sergeant Gunter. Okay, nice. Yeah, so normally we don't kill Martha, like we just like let her finish, let Martha finish off Rosina. But in this scenario, sadly we fucked up. Which means an extra 20 seconds for the tour, at least. Still turned out to be like a great tour, but yeah. Off to CMP3. As I said, you can do the chimney thing again. I don't think I do it here. Okay, nice. Gonna preheat for first boss to 75. Have to make sure though we get fast out of combat after the first boss, so we have to like enter Hollow Forge quickly. Can give super speed here for the team. With Hollow 2. On this guy we don't want to use Big Ol' Bomb because we're gonna knock ads away. This is pretty much the formula, right? If there are like elite mobs, like in this scenario, you don't really want to use Big Ol' Bomb because if you knock them away, it's most definitely gonna be a time loss, which is like just not worth the damage and CC. We have Basi Venom here, so and ideally Guardians should, like one Guardian at least should play the elite trap here for CC. Gonna precast mines. Our thief is leaving a portal here. This is kind of a not really a puck strat, honestly. But we are just gonna get ported to the side of the turret room after. So overheating quickly, as I said, so we don't get in combat, stuck in combat forever. Yeah, CC was terrible on this guy. But here we're going, giving a bit of alacrity. Swapping to Scrapper. Losing all the heat in the process, by the way, right? Because we swapped to 2 different templates. Giving stealth with gyro. We are not gonna take a rifle here, since we are just the guy to keep up the boons on our friends. Because Guardians just hit hard on the turrets anyway, with the modifiers and stuff they have. So using Medkit 5, yeah, exactly, Infusion Bomb for some nice boons, unique modifiers for the Guardians. Then swapping to Mechanist and giving boons. Could have used Elixir Gun here as well, but I think they are topped off anyway when it comes to might. Yeah. Can swap to Scrapper here. Some super speed and we're off to the next boss. On this guy, we also don't want to use Big Ol' Bomb, because I mean, look around him, there are so many mobs. We don't want to knock them away, which means this is a mines boss. And we also don't have to CC him since we have Thief with us. You want to use your laser disc pretty early here, because if you use it too late, it's gonna be still running when you take the portal, which is not good. Also, I'm not gonna overheat here because I want fast out of combat. You could overheat here. It's a lot of work to keep your heat after the first boss. You could overheat here. You have to overheat like super quick though, because you don't want to be stuck in combat afterwards, obviously, because you'll have to swap to scrapper for gyro, because you need that right after. Killing everything. Right here you can see I did a little mistake earlier. When I was on scrapper earlier, I should have dodged to get some cooldown back on my elite. Which would mean my elite would be off cooldown now, which so I can use gyro. Right now I still have a few seconds, but we are stuck in combat anyway for a little bit of time, which is fine. So it works out here. But when we entered the turret room and I cast a gyro, before that I should have dodged twice. I kind of forgot that, but should have done that, yeah. Can swap an Elixir S here for some extra stealth for the back markers of the party. And we're gonna die here. Like it doesn't have to be us, it's just like us in this case. I always die usually. It's kind of for the same reason as in P2. If this NPC dies here, it doesn't have to be as precise as P2 though. But if this NPC is dead, it just skips a long roleplay between her and the boss, which makes it pretty beneficial. So I kind of, yeah, just die next to her so she gets shot. And we can use the time to swap our sigils for TA. We have to be quick though, like sometimes you get interrupted, but that's fine, we can also do it in TA later, but just like some bonus meme. Also swap the food already. Talking about this for a second here, this is something like everybody should do in my opinion. You kinda are required to know which dungeon you're gonna do next for it to do, but right now I'm just not leaving the instance. I'm going onto the world map and changing the layers, which is shift mouse wheel, or you can just like click on the bottom right, but I think the shortcut is pretty neat. And then you can instantly port in front of the next dungeon, which just saves you one loading screen. Yeah, as I said earlier, loading screens are part of this tour, so wanna make sure we lose as little of time as possible. Right here you should do the same thing as in CM, instantly take the waypoint, because it starts the roleplay between Keith and this like other NPC whatever. Right here I'm obviously not the first person in the dungeon, so it wasn't really required for me to do this, but I mean I still just do it anyway. It's like muscle memory, right? We all gonna skip over this gate in this case. Shortcut, like our thief will like place a portal for himself and trigger the dialogue and talk to NPCs. This way right here is where you would swap the sigils if you haven't done it already in CM. For the worm I'm gonna play 150 heat. It's a little bit of a longer fight, and we want to be like able to give super speed for NPCs afterwards as well. That's why I just prefer 150 heat here. There's not really like a set rotation you should do there. I feel like it's just make sure that you have like a. I'm gonna do a lot like not really good in this tour by the way, right here. But I just make sure that you have a holo 3 and a holo 4 for the boss, for the actual champion in the middle. I mean, like the reason I don't play 100 TT is I feel like I would skill save like a lot to make it like work, right? And you don't really like want to skill save for the champion like that hard and delay the killing of the elite ones, because it's just like 150 it feels just more modular in this case, in this scenario, just more. I can do more on the little ones and still don't be like complete dog shit on the big one. Right here, you see, I should have went like I should have stacked less heat earlier, so this means I can't really go into Forge right now, which kind of sucks because I should do 3-4 at least because it's like good burst, right? Here you wanna like look where NPC is and speed her up. God, this was like kind of late by me. Okay, we have like an extra meme portal here. In packs and stuff you won't have that most of the time, but that's alright, you can just like walk, right? It just saves a little bit of time here. This is one of the few places I play quick scrapper. I like to stealth my party and still don't lose boons from the precast here. Stealthing party just guarantees to trigger this event here like instantly almost. But there are also ways where you can like just play Hollow here, because it's a little bit more damage if you would play Hollow here compared to Quickscraper. You wanna look where NPC is and give a super speed once more. Also gonna continue playing Quickscraper for the bubble room, because it has the convenient block on Hammer 5. Obviously you also have the block on Shield 5 on Hollowsmith, for example, but I think giving yourself self quickness here is pretty nice. It makes the kill pretty quick. So you can also pass through these bubbles if you have Aegis. It's a little bit inconsistent though. But if you do it with like a continuous block like Hammer 4, Shield 5, it's like guaranteed you won't die. So we're getting our T portal. Just doing some electricity for the boys, for the skills, also for Sarah portal. Sarah portals that are on a cooldown. Right here, don't really want to play a big old bomb, because you're gonna knock ads away again. Also, I'm starting on 0 heat here. You could also start on 75 and overheat and then catch heat, but sometimes you get stuck here in combat like forever afterwards, and then it's like super awkward because you want to be like preheated for the end boss. Yeah, it's also a little bit. It's just in general a little bit awkward here for engi when you are as fast as possible, like as fast as we are here, because you kind of don't want to use grenade barrage, which kind of sucks since it's big damage, but you won't have it for end boss if you use it here. You can use laser disc. You could use laser disc here, like kind of when the little ones get the elite mobs get like attackable. And I think you should also use Blade Burst here inside the boss's hitbox. I think that's more value than an end boss. I didn't do it here though. Like that's a small mistake I was talking about earlier. But yeah, I'm preheated for like this for end boss. Using Infusion Bomb and Chest for some nice boons. Also using Sword 3 here for some extra quickness. And then you want to swap to Sharpening Stone for end boss if you are tryharding. Swap back to TA, yeah, exactly, TA pod. And we are off to TA up. In this PoV I placed the up portal, the up Sarah portal, which means I'm gonna just stay at the start. Right now I'm gonna play 100 heat on the worm boss. Like I used to do that. I think 150 is just better in up as well, honestly. Because if you're playing 100 heat, you would wanna overheat on the champion, obviously, but then you can't really give super speed to the NPC afterwards, because that's directly afterwards. And you would have to do that. So I just think 150 heat is better. Yeah. As utility skill, I like to run Elixir U for some extra self quickness. I should have swapped it in here earlier, because now I jump down, get in combat, that's kind of awkward. Now I have to swap it in late. Yeah, as you can see, overheat tick doesn't even hit, and I can't get the super speed off for NPC, which is kind of sad. But yeah, off to Marona. We want to catch our heat here. We want to play 100 heat here for sure. Just giving some boons to mates, and we're also gonna pull the mobs, which is why we're gonna play Hardlight Arena for the toolblade skill. I like to play sword here for the burst on her. I mean, maybe rifle is okay after the changes. I'm not sure yet, honestly. Just used to playing sword here, kinda. Basic stuff here. Not our job to CC as well. You don't want to use big old bomb here, obviously. Gonna knock everything away, which is bad. Yeah, cleansing the poison. I should have cleansed after the portal probably, so my mates would have gotten cleansed as well, but it is what it is. We sent someone here early, because the cutscene, like the talking between those two NPCs just instantly starts after you kill Marona this way, so you save yourself some time, because the roleplay between those two is pretty long, obviously. Right here, I'm also playing Zero Heat. We need a fast out of combat afterwards, and I'm also gonna be the guy who CCs her. CCing her, like when you have to overheat early, plus you have to CC her. That's like a super awkward combo, because you can only really precast your bigger bomb, and everything else you would kind of have to use before you go into Hollow Forge. Or you would basically means like if you have to do 100% of the CC on a boss, you kind of just can't overheat quickly, which in this case means you would get stuck in combat afterwards for a longer time, which is obviously not ideal in this scenario, because we want to take a waypoint directly after. That's why I'm playing Zero Heat. You can kind of place the bigger bomb down when those little spiders spawn. It's like kind of the indicator I use here. And then I'm just using Hollow 5 to finish her off. Skill saving the Nade Barrage again. And Blade Burst in this scenario. Yeah, so Puxel would be taking the portal to end boss. We do it a little bit different with this this year, but it's pretty much the same, like kind of when it comes to like what you do in engi, honestly. Swapping again to the Sharpening Stone, chasing after the person who's there, and then it's our normal burst here on the boss. Next dungeon is SE. I'm gonna use Inquest Sigils and Inquest Pot, because I'm gonna solo knock. So right now we are doing like 4 people are doing P3, and I'm pretty much doing P1 solo. So we can then just later, after they finish P3, just port instantly. Don't need to like run all and have the thief skip and stuff. It's just faster this way. Yeah, right here, guys. I have a little question for the viewers. It's just something I'm really curious about. Sometimes when you use your Prime Light Beam, I used it on the TA boss before, right? My elite. And now I swapped to the template where I got the trait equipped. When you dodge, then you get like cooldown reduction on your elite. Right now, as you can see here, it's not working. I dodged twice, didn't get any cooldowns, cooldown refund on the elite. Sometimes though, it works. And I really don't know why or like how. Like why is it working sometimes? Why is it not working like other times? So I'm really curious. So if you guys like know for some reason, like let me know, because I'm really interested in why it's not working sometimes and why it is here like other times. If we had gyro up here, we could use it. We don't. It's fine though. So we are off here to P1 doing our stuff. The skip here is a little bit messy. I get this like instantly, but then I fall off. It's gonna cost me some seconds to get back up on that pipe again. Yeah, I'll release a video soon of the skip, where it's a little bit optimized. Right here, it's pretty much RNG. We have a one-time like chance to get the blink through the barrier. As far as I know, like that's not consistent like this way. I know that Left did like a video where he like dodges into it and then it's like kind of consistent for him, he says, but I don't know. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. This time I don't, sadly, which is like pretty big, honestly. If you don't get it, it's a 15 seconds lost pretty easily. Right here, you know when the NPC spawns, like Taza right behind me. You saw it just spawn. Can tell your team like cutscene is about to happen. Now we have to kill the turrets. Just using overheat there, honestly. Taking feather quickly so we don't get in combat with those guys, which is pretty important because you saw one person just left the dungeon and rejoined. This is the person who bugged the card with that, and he needs out of combat right now, so it's pretty important to be out of combat here again. Right here, if you get the blink through the barrier, you should insta gyro, like I do here, honestly. Right here, I could have just waited a little bit with the gyro. But if you get the blink through the barrier, this event here, that golem event triggers like instantly. Yeah, this part right here, I do a little different right now. So right here we're gonna play power mech. We're gonna chest here, we're gonna also use the chef. Rip the chef, by the way. It's probably still not bad to use it because you have like another entity that can tank the his 8-second stun. Which is pretty big. If you get stunned by that shit, that's super bad. I feather here and let my mech attack, because I hope the boss is gonna focus the mech and not me. I kind of get lucky in this PoV here, because it's actually the case. Like he focuses not me, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I do misremember. There you can see he's like shooting stuff at the mech and not at me, which is pretty good. Want to cleave the singularity there because it gives you weakness. Yeah, I mean, amazing power mech gameplay, as you can see. My team is finished with Destroyer any second, so it timing is like kinda okay. If you would have more time here, you could skip ahead and prepare the portal Thief is about to do, but yeah, like this, it's better if Thief does it. Which gives us also time to preheat on Holosmith. Taking the portal after chesting. Usually I just use big old bomb here and laser disc and nade barrage on the golems and then save my overheat for the boss. In this PoV I kind of do it differently, right? I just instantly go hard. I want to CC here as fast as possible with Rifle 4. And with big old bomb optimally, right? If you would also already have casted that on the golems. Yeah. The boss is still pretty good in this PoV, even though I just played it a little bit differently, waiting in cutscene for invulnerability. Don't get one shot, and we are off to COF. It's contested, which means we have time to swap our sigils. The COF start is pretty crucial. That's honestly something that everybody can learn, and it's not only possible on engi. But it saves a lot of like time when it comes to P1. We are about to see what I'm gonna do. Let me just skip ahead a little bit. So we're in the dungeon, giving the thief super speed. Wow, we are so nice. It's actually crazy. So what you want to do here at the start is you wanna, when you go close to the NPCs here, you want to trigger a cutscene. And you wanna use a leap skill like Guardian F2, like Dragon Hunter F2 for example, next to Farah, Crusader Farah, and then you want to spam F on her like directly after the cutscene, which I'm going to do with Rifle 5 obviously, and for some reason it bugs a little bit, so let me skip back a little bit. I'm going to use Rifle 5, skip the cutscene, talk to her instantly, which means she is moving around now. I mean, she's standing there, but she is like not fixed on that position, but she can like move around now. So you can just talk with the path picking guy, and then you could walk up to the gate and she would follow you. You can also do the thing that I do here, you can jump her. As you can see, now she teleported away. Which just makes the distance she has to travel, like right now, like way shorter. She doesn't have to walk like from down there to up to the gate. Normally she should teleport right next to the gate. Right here we had a slacker in the party who kind of cucked us, and she just ported here. Which is why you want to be like fast at the start of COF. If you do things like this. Okay. COF is honestly a little bit of a pain if you are fast, if you're a good group, because at multiple times you literally have to wait and be like slow on purpose to not bug the dungeon. So right here we had someone skip over the gate, killing those two elites. The two turrets get attackable after the door opens here. But you don't want to kill those two turrets before Farah finishes her voice line right here. After she says forward, you should wait a second and then you should kill the second turret. If you kill them too fast here, the dungeon just bugs and you have to restart. Another boss we're gonna play Quick Scrapper. I wanna give one of my guardians who after the boss will zoom ahead and do a skip, which will fail in this PoV. But yeah, it's pretty good to already give him like in combat super speed, so to say, so he can like instantly go. And I'm also gonna be. It's gonna be possible for me to instantly give Farah some super speed as well afterwards. So this is why I play Quick Scrapper here. I'm kinda too early on the blast star, which is a shame, but yeah, it's whatever. This boss melts anyway. And the time you're gonna save here with me giving Farah super speed is like bigger than me doing like a perfect hollow overheat rotation or something. So right here normally you would have someone like skip over this gate, and then he would wait next to the trigger for the next for the Kriya event, right? And then again you would have to wait until this door opens to trigger the Kriya event, because if you trigger it earlier it bugs. Kind of like the same yeah, the same thing as earlier with the flame turrets. So I triggered event in this PoV here, so that's a few seconds lost as well in that tour, which is kind of sad, but it do be like that. Obviously COF, we have our thief doing the P3 skip, killing the pet dragon, the pet drake, so we can port there. Right now it's still like engi can also do it, but in our tour, like with our speed and stuff, we need the thief portal after, and engi just can't compete with that. I mean, if you had Zero portal of cooldown, I guess he could, but. So we are waiting for the second wave here. And afterwards we're gonna just suicide, so we get out of combat like consistently quick. Just jump down in the lava. We have one person who skipped over the gate to the fireballs. This person is gonna finish off this event and also will place a Zero portal for us afterwards. So taking waypoint, not getting killed here obviously. You can get super speed here with HotW. You have to preheat here anyway. And we kind of have to be quick on that. I'm a little bit slow here, so because we kind of want to chest here for some extra quickness. And usually you would want to precast mines here as well, but time was a little bit close for me, so I didn't. Just basic hollow stuff here, honestly. Waiting for the person to finish off the event and taking the Zero portal that's on the waypoint here. So right now you can see, like right to our right, the NPCs are still talking. Let me fix the music, by the way. What happened to the music? It's just not running, by the way. It's just not running at the moment. Okay. Unfortunate. So NPCs are still talking, like Farah and Kriya, and you're not allowed to finish this event before they finish talking, or it's bugged again. So we have to wait for the let's go until we place those in. There we go. We got the let's go, so we placed them, and I super speed NPCs here. Right here, you should be you should not enter this room too quick. You should just stay behind the forge driver. If you enter this room and Kriya is too far away, like she should be kind of here, so it should be like all right. But if she's too far away and you rush into this room, it kind of bugs as well the dungeon once again. Yeah, and this end boss, it's kind of whatever what you do when it comes to damage. In this case, because we are so quick, we are literally not allowed to burst this champion, to burst this boss again. Because if we would, it would bug. Right here, the NPC, the forge driver guy, it does like some voice lines where he says no, no, and after the second no, then you're allowed to kill the boss. If you kill him before it bugs, you don't get the cutscene we are about to get. Yeah, and this is CF. So CF is just a big pain in the ass because if you're actually quick, you have to like wait for a lot of stuff to not bug the dungeon. Off to AC. AC, super interesting dungeon. The strat we are doing right now, it won't work in like pucks. AC is like the dungeon where you really want to have everybody on the same page. Everybody needs to know what's going on and what strat you're gonna do. It's a lot about porting NPCs to certain locations to be quick. So I'm just gonna do the skip. Do the skip to JavaScript as fast as possible. This is what I do here. We have one person skipping out of map here at the start to get to P2, the P2 area, Great Hall. We have one person staying behind, giving speed to the NPCs so they arrive faster at the camp. So we can pick path faster. And we have two people running to Spider Queen and killing Spider Queen. Because it's P3, we need to kill Spider Queen to trigger the JavaScript. I like to use rifle 5 here for the skip. It's just consistent this way. You can make that jump without like any leap. You can just make a normal jump, but it has to be like really max range, really precise. Yeah, and I also like using just Elixir Gun 4 here because it's just consistent for me. You can also do that jump with Rifle 5. I guess you have to jump Rifle 5 before the Rifle 5 changes. You could just use normal Rifle 5. Right now you would have to make jump Rifle 5 or jump Rocket Boots works as well, but you have to cancel it. Yeah, right here we're gonna self for self. We can use it. We could use our blink, but the fields are okay, and we would also use our stealth if we swap to the mechanist, of course. We want to interact with that chain before the cutscene triggers. Not before the cutscene triggers, but before we have the path picking on our screen, because then we can't interact with stuff like this anymore, which is kind of shit. Because we want to interact with that stuff, because our party needs to walk past there later, which makes it like way more convenient for them to can just if they don't have to worry about the traps. Yeah, so rushing into JavaScript as fast as possible. We see two people already left the dungeon. That's the two guys who killed Spider Queen. They're already done with that. One person still in the dungeon. It's the one who picked the path and speeded up NPCs before. We keep him in the dungeon so Zark is with him and not like doesn't go to the people with the Spider Queen, because then that would mean he gets in combat and then NPC porting gets a little bit more aids. And obviously the other person is doing the skip to P2 still. So I say, like, I tell him I arrive here, I tell my mate I arrive here, and then he leaves, and then I get Zark, event triggers. Everybody can join back in. The way that works with NPCs is NPCs always follow or usually follow the closest person in the dungeon. If just everybody leaves the dungeon, then NPC will, magically port to me, obviously, because I'm the closest person then, since the other person is out of map, which is where NPCs can't really travel. Yeah. You can also jump NPCs by just jumping in place, because if you are like mid-air, the NPCs are kinda, nobody's here anymore, because they don't recognize you when you are mid-air, and then they port as well. That only really works though if you are alone. If you are like multiple people have to jump, it's like kinda harder to get multiple people like in the air at the same time, right? So everybody joins again. We have our skipper here, went into Great Hall. As you can see, I monitor where he's at, because he needs out of combat to place portal and then port to start waypoint. So I wait with getting combat with that burrow. He ports and now I can get in combat. And this is just a solo lava script here. Basic stuff. I used the template with strength runes for some more might, but I mean, it's pretty whatever. Like, you should be fine. Oh, the music's back. Fantastic. One person is dead right now. This is the merger who just died on the gargoyle head to kill Deatha really quick. And the other 3 guys are pretty much just walking towards a place next to Cola, where the portal is in range from to the Great Hall, so everybody can like go there and trigger Deatha. Yeah, the merger had the time to rest there because I got out of combat. So he will start killing Hodgins now. And the other 3 guys are in Great Hall now. Already starting the P2 event. And then the one person who skipped to the Great Hall will leave the 2 guys, because you just need 2 guys to do the Deatha event, honestly. That's the 2 guardians right here. And then the engi who did the skip can just skip to the P1 trigger for Hodgins, and yeah, when the Hodgins merge is done, the merger can jump the Hodgins to the engi right there, and then P1 will trigger as well, which will enable us the waypoint after P1. So we can port there and get to where the P3 barrows will spawn before this event is done here. Yeah, that's pretty much how AC should work. Like, you should never have to wait for P1 or for P2. Like, the whole run should be time gated by P3. So right now, I think I can skip ahead because this is pretty boring. This is the last burrow I'm supposed to kill. After that, there's only one more burrow right here in the corner, but we can skip that because the mobs don't really have time to kill one of those collectors anyway. So we can like safely skip and already go to the waypoint if it's up. There we go, we finished P2. P1 was a little bit slow in this instance, but it still worked out to not time get us from P3. And then you have to like just properly spread on the 4 burrows that spawn for P3, kill them as fast as possible and take the waypoint again we are about to take. So the merger and me are waiting for the waypoint here. There we go, we got it. We are porting. So everybody is gonna go to a graveling burrow besides the merger. The merger is gonna skip to the end boss area right here on the left. You can see him going off. And then he's gonna prepare a portal for us, so we don't have to wait for the P3 roleplay before Zark opens up the rubble there. Plus he's gonna trigger P1 end boss. Just getting burrow here. Then making sure we get out of combat afterwards quickly. It can kind of be annoying because if you get stuck in combat with one of those P1 NPCs, you're gonna be they won't despawn, right? The P3 NPCs after every burrow is dead, they will despawn. The P1 NPCs won't, obviously. There we go. We got our portal from the merger, and he also triggered P1 already. One person has to stay behind, as you can see right here, because you have to go through this after Zark opens the rubble to trigger the P3 end boss. So one person just has to stay behind here. So P1 end boss already up, so we kill him. And then P3 NPC is about to P3 boss is about to spawn. Right here I want to make sure that I don't use my elite. Like I used my elite before we took the portal down here to stealth the party. That's pretty good because I don't want to use my elite here since I need my elite ready in COE at the start. Yeah, so we have to wait for the P3 roleplay. And as you could see, like at no point in this run, P2 or P1 actually stopped us from progressing P3. And this is how AC, like a fast AC is supposed to be. Fast AC merge where you do all 3 paths, obviously. Yeah, COE start. I'm gonna do the stuff I did in that video I uploaded, which means I'm gonna solo the NPC walk here. I need one person to give her a little bit of swiftness at the start, and pretty much like everybody else is doing some skipping here while I do this. So I need Jaro to stealth her here, and then I'm gonna like blast, give her some super speed, and then I need to like get away from her quickly, because the way this works here is the NPC right now, like after you talk to her, basically has like the target which says NPC get to this point. If you get too close to her though, her target like changes to NPC attack anything that's nearby. So if I was like right next to her, right here, she would stop on this first group here and would attack them. But if I'm far away from her, like she doesn't do that. The same thing goes for people at the start. People at the start, if they get to skip here quick, they literally have to wait for NPC to travel at around like here, around these like stairs, a little bit before maybe, and then they can safely progress the path. But that's really important that you have the distance between you and the NPC and also your party members. So as you can see on the minimap, she's not stopping anywhere, she's not attacking anything. I'm gonna pull those guys to assure, because her stealth will run out. So I pull all those mobs here to assure she'll not get attacked and knocked and stuff. And it's the same for all 3 paths. The NPC is gonna stop right there and do some roleplay, talking. We can use this moment to get close to her again, because she's standing there anyway, right? So we don't really risk her attacking any mobs, and give her some more speed, and then get away from her again, because same principle apply, I guess, earlier. When she gets here, you can go close to her when you unlock the waypoint, and then you can just like keep super speeding her. If this was P2 or P3, we could just go to the start now, because we don't have to pick path in those paths. We can do that later, because NPC just instantly ports to us when it's cannon room time. But in P1 I have to pick path, so I have to stay here. Can already preheat for Golem, because we're gonna get an on-spot portal. Gotta precast mines through the portal there. Gonna port before I pick the path, because you have to repick it anyway if you have a loading screen. So right there I want a chest after I see my second thief there. Then I want to precast the mines through the portal. I should have also precasted laser disc. I didn't do that. Small mistake, but it's alright. Killing the golem, and we are off to the console. We're gonna do 5-0 obviously. There are 2 ways. One way you kill the mobs with guardian traps and stuff, and thief traps. We have double thief right now for this path because we are doing some portal shenanigans. If you only have one thief and doing the like more normal old school tour strat, you would probably just kill the mobs there. You want to wait here, by the way. The reason you wait here, and you don't go like instantly to the console is that NPC like stays with you back here. If you would go to the console instantly, NPC would be around, and then you couldn't interact with the console. You know, everybody knows it. Everybody has experienced it. It's annoying. Which is why we just wait here. We boon up on quickness. If you have quickness, your interact is faster with the console. You need to have quickness, like everybody needs to have quickness though, over the whole period of the interact. If your quickness drops at some point, the bar that shows at the bottom where you interact is not accurate anymore, and you will have to interact like longer, even though the bar disappeared. So make sure you have quickness for the whole period, like the whole interact period. Yeah, this is why we wait here. And then when the console gets actually clickable, we run up, get the Shadow Refuge and interact. Your mates might here, your mates want to make sure that they instantly, or like as fast as possible, go to the next room. And get to this trigger, to this bubble trigger. Because if people get to this bubble trigger, then the NPC actually starts to move to the next room. Right now you see she goes like somewhere off, like aimlessly. Now she, after people got there, she actually starts running in that direction to the room. And I obviously stay back to give her super speed. This is the boss right here. If you wouldn't have the Zero portal we have right now, like to ice boss instantly, I would play zero or start with zero heat here. In this scenario, because we have portal to the next room, and I don't really need to super speed afterwards. To make the transition clean, I can just play 75 feet overheat. Getting chests, precasting mines. Optimal precast right here would be to precast the big old bomb and then swap back to mines, as you can see. Doing laser disc and then just unleashing the whole burst. Then we got the Zero portal, as I said. Okay, we kind of want to go to this place because it's the pillar next to the place we need to go after we kill the boss. Plus, I like to stay far back here because NPC likes to fuck up the ice boss sometimes. We all know it. Yeah, so this is already like again just basic boss for us. Sadly, I don't have quickness here, which is kind of why this boss feels terrible for me. Arguably, I should have skill saved the grenade barrage from the boss earlier for this boss, because this is more important, honestly. But we got portal to end boss. And our heat is gonna always be different here, depending on how good the ice boss or how fast the ice boss is gonna die. Obviously, it was pretty slow this time, so I'm a zero heat. Like, perfect scenario, you're perfectly preheated on 75 heat here again, obviously. I decide to opt out of overheating here because I want to get out of combat like this to super speed the NPC. Make it just a little bit fast at the end. This is P1. The start of P2, as I said, it's going to be the same with me pulling the stuff. So I just skipped a little bit ahead here. No point of watching this again. Yeah, but as I said earlier, the difference here, right here, is I can just give her a little bit of swiftness, like after she unlocked the waypoint, and then we can just go off to the start. Need to preheat here kind of quickly. Also chesting is going to be tight. I do it like on this side. We are off to fighting the golem. One thing here, the cutscene didn't happen yet. And we sometimes have people I sometimes see people saying, "Oh, did the cutscene happen? I'm not sure," because you're not allowed to enter the turret room, the next room, before the cutscene happened. But you always know if the cutscene happened if you just look at the map. There is no symbol here on the map, like NPC talking symbol, which means the cutscene didn't happen. So if we continue here, we see a cutscene happened, so we get the symbol. So right now we know we can enter this room safely. This room. I super speed here, speed her after she ports here. And then this is pretty much like just cannon defense event here. You want to give some alacrity here for some, you know, just for some memes, honestly. We have Thief doing a skip right here. It's a little bit different from the normal skip where you just get the portal after this door opens here. We do it a little bit different, a little bit more optimized. In this tour, though, the Thief skip failed the first time, so we have to just run up afterwards. How the strat was meant to be, you see in P3, because that actually worked. But it's just like some small optimizing stuff. So I think I can just skip ahead of this over this event. I guess I could talk about like what's the plan here, what we want to achieve. So normally we want Thief to do the skip to the next room, and he has to go like a way around out of map. Because if he's like in the map and just walks up those stairs there and then places portal, he's like in front of the door, right? But we want to have him go around inside this room where the next alpha spawns. And then everybody is gonna portal to the start waypoint and takes the Thief's portal. We only leave one person behind here after the second elite golem wave, and this person is going to be a guard placing down some traps on the turret, and then he ports as well. So everybody is already in the next room next to the second alpha when this event isn't even finished, and then the event finishes. And we can just like instantly trigger the next alpha, and Thief can instantly go into the next room through the door. But as I said, it sadly didn't work out in this P2 here, in this tour. Which means we just have to like gyro up here. Or just stealth up. I just use gyro because why not? Yeah, we wait for Thief here to go through the door. The trigger is kinda here. So if you go over here, then the door starts to close. If you blink over here like Thief, then it doesn't close. We can use 75, 80 something overheat here. It's the same, literally the same rotation you could do here, like on the second alpha in P1. Going back to mines, like precasting big old bomb. Was kind of too early, so this guy didn't break. It's kind of sad. I think we also missed Basi Venom, maybe, I think. Quickly cleansing those conditions with medkit, catching the heat here, 75, and then going into chest, because also swapping food for this boss. I mean, you could swap food for every boss here, right? But we kind of have to start here with our elite, which is a little bit awkward. But if we don't do that, then we run. We have the risk of our elite like not being up for the next start, like of the start of COP3. Which would mean I can't gyro, which I'm required though, right? Because I have to do the start skip. So I start with the elite here, knock the boss instantly. And then yeah, this boss gets knocked, even though his break bar is like down and stuff. So kinda use your big old bomb, a rifle 4, like accordingly. Catching our heat here as fast as possible, so we can like preheat to 75. kind of want to overheat here as fast as possible. No, I shouldn't have done the right before there, because you want to try to just stand back and get out of combat to give her super speed like in P1. I don't get it this time, but I mean she got swiftness, so it's not terrible. It's a little bit of RNG if you get out of combat there. Yeah, so start of P3. Same thing as P2, so we're just gonna skip ahead. I put the start. We kill the golem. We got the cutscene pretty early there, which means our skipper was like a little bit slow. That's alright. So as you can see on the minimap top right, we see this like interaction thingy there, so which means we can just enter the room. Give him super speed once more to NPC here. In this path, I'm not gonna stay in the cannon room here, because I have to do this destroyer portal skip. Thief is gonna port me up here in a second. So as you can see, the Thief is with me here, because he is doing, like, a big part of his skip is the same skip that I'm doing. He's doing the skip I talked about earlier, that he failed in P2. He's doing that again. In this case he succeeded, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this is just a normal destroyer skip. I don't think I have a video of that on my channel, so maybe I'll do one eventually. Kinda have to hurry here. Yeah, I don't get this rocket boots here. I usually rocket boot to the right here, like right there, where I'm jumping. Yeah, I just felt like going straight there, but it didn't work out. But it's not no big deal, because I have some time there. Like doesn't have to be back pixel perfect everywhere. I'm still on time. Yeah, we want to be zero heat here. Because I like to go into HotW here to be able to just beat up my people. So as you can see right here, we are in this room, and the cannon room is not finished yet. And this should have been like this in P2 as well. And this way we can just like instantly trigger the room when the cannon event is finished. So right here, same business honestly. You could skill save rifle 5 here, so you can just like leap instantly where you gonna open the portal. I think I don't do it here. Nah, just muscle memory is too strong. Strongest enemy. Open destroy portal here. Obviously, after I placed the portal down at destroyer, like I wasn't allowed to template swap anymore, since portal is ticking. I'm swapping late here to scrapper, because I don't want to close the portal in case someone is like slow taking it or something. Right here I'm just chilling, giving some meme boons to my mate here. Then we wanna swap back to HotW Zero Heat, get some boosts from my Guardian. And I want to basically preheat on that boss before the end boss, because we don't have a lot of time after this boss. In theory we could overheat here, especially because we got that out of combat portal here. Yeah. Something you could consider doing. But like this we are preheated, we are ready for end boss. We can precast mines through the portal in theory, but I used mines on the destroyer. A little mistake here, I shouldn't have done that. Should have used mines right here through the portal, but it's okay. It's like the small stuff I was talking about earlier. That's like, you're just gonna fuck small stuff up like this in a 50-minute tech speedrun, basically. Right here, should have also stopped attacking and went out to get out of combat, maybe, to speed up NPC, but didn't get it. We have another portal here to get out of combat, which means everybody in the dungeon is not in combat anymore, which you would be if you were stuck up there where we killed the end boss. This enables me to to just port to Verdant Brink to reset my Zera portal instantly, which saves us another loading screen. Because I kind of have to be quick here, since my people already like starting the honor story skip and stuff. So I get there. I have to be quick with the sigil swapping here, because the cutscene is about to happen. So I use the pot, swap the sigils. And this cutscene, if you're too slow, you get cucked by this cutscene, and then it's annoying when you get that during the sigil swapping stuff. Right here, I just like to use Highlight Arena for the F1. I precast Hollow 5 through the portal. Not for the F1, just for the 2-way skill, obviously. Because you're not really allowed to use mines, because you want to use mines on end boss. Yeah, so I just use this. I'm giving some alacrity here for my team for their skills. Swapping back to Hollow, precasting mines, and then you can also precast the big old bomb. I should have chested here, I didn't do it. There is enough time to do it, but I was just like slow here with the button presses, honestly. And then you swap back to mines, like the normal engi, like optimal burst, pretty much. Wow, we get a rifle 5 that's not fucked up crazy. Even though we're on those like uneven planks. And the boss dies, and we're off to HotW P1. In HotW P1, we want to instantly go into Hollow Forge after we get inside and start preheating, because we want to store our heat here. Because we have some time at the start here to preheat, but we won't have time like later before troll. So I preheat it, I store my heat, I swap template. I'm stealthing, and this right here is another thing that's like worth explaining, I guess. Those mobs there, you have to path them. They will follow you, but they'll follow the last person who enters this room if they're still running towards you. So as you can see, they're running, and I'm the last person who enters, so everybody can just go ahead and start fighting, and I'm gonna be the one who paths. Just gyro the team, give them some super speed, and we are off to the troll. Right here I could have dodged for some cooldown on my elite, because that's kinda important. It's not that bad if you don't do it, but you should do it, honestly. There we go, I do it, dodge twice, get the cooldown reset, and now I can swap my template, and I'm already perfectly preheated, and that's why we did that at the start of the dungeon. Swapping to Swanee port here, catching heat with swapping template. On Aldos, we are a little bit on bottle duty, which means seeing the boss. Rifle 3 is already also pretty good, because it's an immobilize, which does a big breakbar damage to this guy. He's one of those bosses that only gets affected by stuns and like soft CC. So not every type of CC is working against him. Against his breakbar, that is. Against him it works. So you can use CCs to interrupt the animation where he gets the stacks, which is what we are doing here. So he only gets them like once at the start, obviously. Before he gets attackable, you want to stack a lot of fields, because all of those fields hit. And then he loses his stacks quicker. So I'm using my mortar kit fields. Also doing some fields here on bomb kit. And then I'm off bottling. Just stunning the boss, using rifle 3, and then I pretty much start my rotation when he is like CC'd. Thief was in position, so path ends here, and we are off to path 2. Path 2 is not like path 1, we don't want to preheat like instantly here, we want to preheat like kind of slowly. Because I like to use the Hollow 5 as a blast here, and then like giving super sweet to follow 2 right here. You want to make sure you don't pull those claymores guys here, those guys, because they'll keep you in combat forever, and we will do that in this PoV, which means we get stuck in combat here, which is pretty annoying, especially for me. I mean, it's annoying in general for the other people as well. But as you can see, they're back there, they're come running at us. Because right here, what you would like to do is store your heat, or like catch your heat again and then store it while you're in your skip template. But as you can see, I'm not out of combat, so I can store the heat, I can't catch it, which requires me to preheat later again. Right here, I'm doing the skip. So on a P2, pretty much like in our tours, looks like one person instantly from the start goes to like end boss, preparing a portal, and then me right here doing the skip to the boss with the 2 Quagans, and which means this boss to my right here is 3 people gonna kill that. We can see the HP on the top right, and it's pretty low already, and that's exactly why we would love to have already catched our heat and already be preheated, because right now I have to do that still. So they are going to kill the boss right now. I need to place the portal. I think they were still stuck in combat. I go back here to trigger and report the start waypoint. Right here, everybody joins basically. All 5 players are here, but now the thief leaves the party, so we're gonna do the 2 Quagan and the 1 guy boss 4-man. But the person with end boss portal is already here and is helping. So just basically precasting here, and what you should do here is I'm gonna place the Zero portal, and then everybody should use the feather before we go through the portal, because if we don't do that, we run into the risk of this boss, Andal, instantly casting his like attack where he summons these like ice meteors or something that smash the ground, which is super annoying because everybody has to move out. So you use the feather, so you have a little bit of time to just arrive here, and then it's instantly see him before he casts anything like this. And this is the attack I was talking about. Right here I get knocked by the Quagan, so I just decide to like cutscene item, not get one shot, dodge out afterwards. Everybody's dead. I need to catch my heat here. This needs to be like super quick. You need to be preheated super like as fast as possible, pretty much, because we get the first portal here. We take the waypoint here, get this thief portal to here, and then we have the portal from the guy who just went at the start of the dungeon to end boss area. We take this portal, and as you can see, the preheat is pretty like close here. I like to cast the big old bomb before the cutscene hits. I like to do skill number 3 for some CC, because you want to instantly see this guy before he does an attack, because if you CC him while he is doing an attack, he doesn't get CC'd. Fun. But we CC him, he gets CC'd, that's pretty neat. And then it's just like normal hollow underwater burst, which is pretty much the same burst as overwater. It's like on land. Overwater, lol. Off to P3, same opening as in P1, where you instantly wanna preheat and store it. Everything is the same, being the last one who enters, and catching them, basically like drawing the aggro. Gyroing the party once more. Leaping over here, and we'll do some precast here. Thief is off to prepare a portal right here. I like to just feather here and then use my block on my way here, because the totem just shoots randomly sometimes and knockbacks you, which is super annoying. And it's also pretty nice to kill those 2 hunters right here. If they die, you get out of combat pretty consistently. after the boss. Catching our heat here, doing some chesting, do some preparation for the boss, and then we're gonna CC this boss here with Rifle 4. This part right here, we are already doing it different, like compared to this PoV, but I used to do just lose all my heat, go here, and then equip the pull. That's a thief portal the thief prepared for us, and he's already like off to preparing the next portal to end boss. You can cast the pull here and then swap while you're casting the pull to big ol' bomb. To bomb kit, sorry. But we run out of combat here anyway after for some proper precast for Thimble. As I said, like this part we do different already in our current strat. So this is not really that relevant anymore for me. Yeah, Thimble is stuck in this fantastic spot right there. Yeah, the Thimble is not really clean by me, but it's whatever. You want to catch your heat, or like preheat to 75 as fast as possible after Thimble. There we go, catch the heat, preheated while I was porting. And then we get the Thief, Sarah portal to end boss, which is finishing off the tour. Yeah, short, like as 1 second to talk about Harpoon skills. I liked it, like the Harpoon 2, you shoot like mines in front of you, which are big damage if they all hit. The boss, if you're close to the boss, they all hit. Yeah, and number 4 is like a bomb you attach to the mob, to the boss, which explodes after some time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This concludes our tour. Some stuff is already different. We already do it like different from what you just saw. But yeah. I hope this was enjoyable. I know this is like a pretty long video. We are almost at 1.5 hours. Maybe I went a little bit too in depth here and there, but I think this might be interesting for one or the other person who can't really understand what's going on by just watching the tour POV. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something new, something useful here and there, something small. I had fun doing this, which is like the main reason I did it, honestly. Maybe in the future we will do some really in-depth guide where we just talk about every, like, we cut like 2 POVs together, we talk about all POVs and stuff. That would be pretty interesting. And it's like a something we talked about, like me and the squad. But yeah, that's way more effort as well. So I hope you enjoyed this and enjoy your dungeons, guys.